that they were 3 outs away from winter when they came to bat in the 9th inning. And they had been completely shut down for 8 innings. And then out of seemingly nowhere, they deliver another chapter in what's been kind of a storybook season.
All right, we're back. We have AJ, we have Howie Rose, voice of the Mets since 1995, and we're going to live adjust their shot.
Well,
Claudia, Gabs, do we like this view of them, or should we?
Hannah, this is all I got, man. This is best I
this
can
is the
do.
best we can do. All right, all right. Welcome.
Hey, we're doing this on the fly, Hannah. So you have to understand that we don't have the best setup. Trust me, where I was originally set up, you couldn't have seen our faces because there was a giant light behind us. So at least this way we can see Howie's gorgeous mug.
I was trying to avoid that, but you got to do what you got to do. This is the postseason.
You guys would have looked like anonymous, like witnesses. We could have just had you backlit silhouettes, given us some scoops on the Mets without being able to be identified. All right, Howie, I'm going to ask you a question just to lead this off because you've covered the Mets for decades. Where do those 2 games, the first game against the Braves and the last game against the Brewers, rank amongst all-time Mets games that you've watched, covered, called? What do you make?
Well, you know, it's kind of funny, Hannah, because after Lindor hit his home run and they beat the Braves last Monday to secure a spot in the wild card series, a couple of people asked me that, and I chewed on it a little bit and said, you can make a case that that was the biggest, certainly regular season home run hit in the history of the Mets. And so then you fast forward, I mean, what was that, Monday? And we're talking about 72 hours later or whatever, when Pete Alonso hits his home run, and you can make the case that's one of, if not the biggest home runs they've ever hit, you know? So, I mean, I would look at Lenny Dykstra's home run to win Game 3 of the National League Division Championship Series against Houston in 1986. But, you know, this one, they were 3 outs away from winter when they came to bat in the 9th inning. And they had been completely shut down for 8 innings. And then out of seemingly nowhere, they deliver another chapter in what's been kind of a storybook season. And it only makes you wonder what's next.
Yeah, what is next? That's what I want to know. What can they do to top all these things they've already done? I mean, Game 1 of this series, they got completely shut down for 7 innings by Wheeler. Right. And then out of nowhere, they score 5, and they win that game. And then Game 2, obviously they had the lead. Sevy made some mistakes. Then Nimmo hits a home run. Then Vientos hits the home run. They give it up. But what can they keep doing? Is it every game you're like, all right, we're just going to wait till the 8th. We're going to score in the 8th late, and then magic's going to happen?
Well, I guess they've got the advantage of having done that and having it work for them. It's certainly not part of the strategy and what they talk about in the meetings. But, and you've been in situations as a player where a team gets on a roll, or even a player or two get on a roll, and you start thinking that if you're not invincible, well, then nothing phases you, right? Yeah. And I think the Mets are at that point right now where they are as nonplussed as you can be when you get into crunch time. So they've got that going for them. A lot of times, as the cliche goes, a team can only be as hot as it or its opponent's next day pitcher, and we'll see how that translates today.
Howie Rose, it's Dylan Betances here. I got something for you.
Hey, Dylan, how are you?
How many suits did you pack up for the longest road trip you've ever been on?
You know what? I packed them as I saw them and just fired them in one by one. But I got to tell you, Buck Showalter, and you probably remember this, told us one of the great stories of all time when it came to packing. Nick Markakis, terrific player with the Orioles and later the Braves, and Buck had him in Baltimore. Markakis said to his teammates, he said, guys, you're going to see me wearing the same clothes on the road all year because I'm packing once. I'm going to pack my suitcase. We get home from the road trip. I give the suitcase to the clubbies. They're going to have it cleaned, repack it, and that's what I'm wearing again on the next road trip. That's a great strategy, and I'm not at all embarrassed to say I'm using the Markakis method the rest of the postseason.
Love that. Love that.
Except the clubbies won't repack for me.
No, I think they will for you,
them.
Howie. I think Kratz muted himself.
Kratz is muted. I can't hear him.
No, but I
Hear me?
can't read lips either.
It's a great question.
Try again.
Yeah. How about later? Can you hear me now?
There we go.
I got you. I got you now.
Somebody muted me. I don't know. I'm at my own home place. I don't have a beautiful stadium to call my office. But all I was going to say was, did you think this team was going to be where they are in May when you were watching this team?
Of course not. No one could have. Obviously, you've got a team that thought it was better than it had played to that point. But no, because it felt like the wheels were falling off, especially in that series with the Dodgers where they were swept and it was punctuated by the Jorge Lopez hurl of the glove into the stands here. But that might have been the turning point, really, because they had a clubhouse meeting immediately thereafter. And basically, J.D. Martinez and a couple of others said, look, right now we stink and everybody expects us to stink. Nobody expects us to do anything. So you know what? All right, let's just go have fun and see what happens. Pressure's off. And it's almost as though the water started flowing through the faucet right then, because I think the thing that a lot of people tend to overlook is that from that point on, which was the end of May, for the last 4 months of the regular season, the Mets played at a percentage that would translate to over 100 wins over a full season. They had the best record in baseball over the last 4 months. This is not a spurt. This is not a team that just got hot at the right time. The thing that everybody has to realize is whatever happens today, tomorrow, and who knows when else, this is a good team. They're not necessarily peaking. They've been a good team for quite a while, and they're playing like one.
What was it, 67-40 since the start of June?
Yeah.
Something crazy.
And that's
like
10 games better than the Phillies since that date.
Okay, so which one of the gimmicks is your favorite? The OMG, the Grimace. I mean, what else can we go?
Pete's Pumpkin.
Yeah, Pete's Pumpkin. I mean, you have he has the orange and blue Mets tie on.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an earthquake. What's your favorite gimmick of these Mets this year?
I might be too old to get caught up into any of that because, I go back to Tug McGraw and You Gotta Believe. That was a gimmick, and it wasn't really a gimmick. It's a relic now, and it was a rallying cry to a team that people had dismissed as done like dinner. So I don't know. Grimace is for the kids. OMG is for the kids. And Seymour Wiener, trust me on this, that happened at the beginning of the year. A wonderful 90-plus-year-old World War II veteran who was honored here. And on social media, everybody got a kick out of that. Oh, Seymour Wiener, ha, ha, ha. And so he became something of a rock star here. So I'm just going to leave this in the hands of the players, the coaches, the manager, the front office, and whatever they want to latch on to. Good for me, too. Seriously.
I can't believe we just had Howie Rose say Seymour Wiener on our show. But
God bless him, a World War II vet.
I know, he's a World War II vet. I mean, he could have just put, I guess he put S. Wiener on. Anyway.
Yeah. Mr. Wiener?
My question, sorry, anybody with a last name Wiener, that's just tough. But my question is on your last statement. Oh, tell Amin to get out of the shot one time.
Yeah,
Jeez.
right?
He's the good-looking Adam, because here comes the ugly Adam. There's the ugly Adam. That's the good-looking Adam.
Adam Wainwright is such a nice man. A genuinely good human being. No, there's a point I'm making. But if I walked around with Adam at Citi Field right now, and people might not recognize him, and I say, hey, say hi to my good friend Adam Wainwright, Met fans would go, no, not him. No, get out of here.
We got a problem. Half our viewers are not even subscribed. Hit the subscribe button. Do it.
We get it. Mornings are nuts. No time for breakfast, but you need to get your day started right.
What if a delicious, nutritious meal could be ready in seconds? Support for Foul Territory is brought to you by Huel, the world's #1 complete nutrition brand. With over 400 million meals sold worldwide, Huel is trusted by millions of people looking to fuel their days with convenient, complete nutrition. Try it for yourself with this exclusive FT offer. 15% off with the code FOUL at Huel.com.
You know we're all about saving time, but we get hangry, like a lot. I recently fell in love with the Huel Ultimate Super Greens Powder, which is a perfect blend of 91 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. I also love their complete nutrition bars, and those hot and savory pouches are fire too.
FT fam, give it a shot. Get 15% off with the code FOUL at HUEL.com. Unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with Huel. Nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters.
It really was a hell of a pitch.
It was a good pitch. Good curveball. Sorry, never made it there. But Howie, your
Too
last
soon.
statement, you talked about they're playing better than the Phillies. You see this
Well, they're
Mets
playing
team
better than people expected them to. You know, the
Yes.
Phillies over 4 months. I guess the Mets have been 10 games better in the standings, but the Phillies had less to prove down the stretch than the Mets did, too. I think that's important.
Are the Mets better than the Phillies? That's my question. And
I'll have a pretty good
are
answer
they a
for you
better
by
team?
late Friday night. You know, I look at the Phillies as being somewhat battle tested. So I would give them the edge from that perspective that they've been here. And they're not going to be, as we saw, it was proven on Sunday, you know, if they're backed into a corner, they're going to fight. They're going to come off the ropes. And you have to expect that. And you have to be ready for a counter punch. And you have to know that they have the ability to throw the knockout punch. But what we've learned just over the last week, never mind 4 months, is that this Mets team, they can take a punch. So if you knock them down, you better knock them out.
Hey, Howie, I got one question for you. I seen the video. All the New York fans sent me the video of you on a plane ride when they replaying the home run call, and then you walk back to and everybody's just giving you a round of applause. Where do you rank that in your time with the Mets?
Yeesh, that's in its own separate category. You know, being inducted into the Mets Hall of Fame last year was as big a thrill as you could have. It's kind of a lifetime achievement award, especially for a kid who grew up here, where the Mets controlled my moods from the age of 8 years old on. But this right here, this doesn't happen. You know, the section of the plane where you just saw me walk into, you know, that might have been in a different zip code from where we sit, because there are lines of delineation on team charters. Not that we wouldn't necessarily be welcome back there if we came back to say a quick hello to somebody. They wouldn't be able to throw us out of the window on the fly, but some of them might think about that.
There's a hard rule we need to explain it. Like the wing, like the media doesn't get past the wing normally unless they're invited back.
Yeah.
And in this situation, Howie was not only invited back, he was the guest of honor.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah, based on that alone, it's unique, surreal, and frankly, something I'll remember for the rest of my life and greatly appreciate.
That's awesome.
Well, I'm curious. I want to know how when Pete hits that home run, we're like, oh, Pete's feeling himself. He's in the zone. When you make a good call, do you feel like you're in the zone? Are there like calls that you make where you're like, I'm hot today. I'm making great calls.
Hannah, I really don't think so. And I'm not trying to be humble. It's just that, particularly on radio, and when you have a moment like that, your mind immediately transitions from, okay, I called the home run. I got the ball going over the wall. Now, given the enormity of the moment, I'm a reporter, and I've got to chronicle and detail everything that I'm seeing on the field. So you don't have time to think about saying anything catchy or that'll particularly draw the attention of someone 10, 20 years down the road. You're looking at what's happening. That moment was so big, so big, that from the moment that ball went over the fence, I've got to track Pete going around the bases, because years from now, people are going to hear that. And if they don't have and didn't have the ability to see it, at least in real time, I've got to paint the clearest picture possible. So I need to see and explain what Pete's like as he approaches home plate, who's waiting for him there. The Mets pouring out of the dugout with the game in progress there, that's something you almost never see. I mean, I remember the Cardinals doing that when Jack Clark hit a home run against Tom Niedenfuer in the '85 National League Championship Series. But it's that unique, you know? So I've got to chronicle all of that. So I don't feel like I'm in any kind of zone there. I'm just thinking, see it, say it, and don't blow it.
You didn't blow it. You did awesome. And Mets fans, Mets kids fans are going to remember that forever, so you did awesome. But I have one quick question.
Yeah.
Do you hate it when these national guys just come and swoop in for these games? Like, you've been grinding the whole season, 162. Look at him. Look at him right now. Look right next to you. He fixed his hair. He's like, he's got a nice tan because he was out on the golf course while you were grinding it for 15 days on the road. But these national guys, they just come in. You have anything to say to those guys? Kind of arrogant.
I love it. You know why? Because with this face, I'm on radio. I need to remind you, I'm a radio announcer. And when the networks come in to do the games, our radio ratings go through the roof. So I love when those guys are here.
That's fine by me. As long as they're watching us and listening to Howie, I'm good with that. Listen, that's fine. Just turn it on, turn the sound off if you don't like us, and go listen to your local radio booth. That way, everyone's supported at the same time.
And by the way, if you want to kill those during the inning interviews, feel free.
Okay. Wow. Howie Rose said it here. Tell Judy. Tell Judy. Tell her.
Hey, by the way, there's a picture outside of Howie's radio booth from him from like 1978.
Picture.
He's got full pimp outfit on with like the fur coat and the high collar, full head of hair. I mean, just sideburns. It is worth seeing if you ever get to City.
You folks don't remember a clothing store in New York called Robert Hall, kind of a discount clothing place. Well, I had that picture taken that AJ's referring to. This is when I worked at WHN Radio. And when the station manager saw the picture, he said, well, it looks like a Robert Hall suit. Took a beat, and then he said, Robert threw it out and you hauled it in.
All right, we're going to need AJ to take a picture of that picture and tweet it from the foul territory.
Yeah, you'll have fun with that.
Howie, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I think next time you call an incredibly dramatic late inning go-ahead home run, you should flip the mic.
Yeah, I can't do that. The feedback would be terrible. The bounce you get. It'd throw me right off. Thank you, though.
All right.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.